Hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm your host, Zack, aka CosmicMidnighter. Today we're going to be going over our latest trip to a galaxy far, far away, the Obi-Wan KENOBI series. The series kicks off with a massive intro in the form of Order 66, which for those that don't know, Order 66 is the mass genocide of the Jedi, and it has massive implications for the galaxy as a whole. It is a very big pivotal point for everyone's lives because it is the loss of order and peace within the galaxy. Now, in the wake of the galaxy's loss of the Jedi, there always needs to be a power vacuum filled, and that came in the form of the Inquisitors, who are a group of Jedi hunters that, for anyone that survived the Great Purge of the Jedi, would then hunt down, or even Force sensitives, such as children, would then be hunted down and killed or taken in prisoner by the Empire. These characters are some of my most favorite among the Star Wars villains that are out there. They have unique stories and meanings behind their actions for everything that they do. And it's especially difficult to like some of these characters when they differ so much from their prior adaptations. For example, the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother have been shown in prior Star Wars media. They were originally shown in Star Wars Rebels, and they were the main antagonists for most of the series. This is why I personally have a hard time liking the character designs in the live-action Kenobi series, because they differ so strongly from what is already pre-established in Star Wars Rebels. Take the Fifth Brother, for example. His character design on facial expressions and details alone, as well as sound, height, they are all differ and make the character seem very much as an alternative change to the original design, and as well as the Grand Inquisitor, who is very much a imposing, dark, brooding character, but is not seen that way. To me, he kind of reads kind of like a clown, if I'm being completely honest. It's very hard to take him seriously, especially in the more intense moments of the series. Now, someone who is no stranger to intense moments would be our main protagonist, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Honestly, my real thoughts about him are that he's perfect. They've picked up exactly where I thought he would be from the moment we left him in Episode 3. It is honestly amazing how detailed and well established that they made Obi-Wan post Revenge of the Sith. From his details about his appearance, to his state of being, to his emotional weight that he carries everywhere with him. We see this throughout the episode. He is always carrying around the guilt and pain of losing Anakin to the dark side and feeling as though he could not save him. We see this in his nightmares. We see this in his lighter moments when he's trying to work. It follows him and he carries it with him wherever he goes. And to have the Inquisitors hunting him is almost a reminder of his scars of being a Jedi and the loss that he feels when another Jedi approaches him and he is unable to help. He realizes that he's lost, he's failed, and he can't redeem himself. And this, I think, is going to be the overall arc for Obi-Wan, is learning how to deal with this loss and this pain that he's enduring and turn it into strength. There's a quote from the original Star Wars where Obi-Wan in his later years tells Luke there are alternatives to fighting, and I feel like this is where he's going to learn what that really means. We're going to see him develop that skill and see him blossom into this newly formed Jedi of the time. But this change that Obi-Wan must undergo is not immediate. He must train and discipline himself once again to become a newly formed Jedi of the time. And we see that he's trying to reach out for help from his master, Master Qui-Gon Jinn, who he repeatedly tries to speak with. Now, for those that don't know, Master Qui-Gon has become what is called a Force Ghost. A Force Ghost is a Jedi who can retain their consciousness after death. And this is especially important for Obi-Wan, who is needing his guidance and wisdom that he has relied on for so long to go through this really troublesome time that is the Empire's reign over the galaxy. And nothing describes this moment better than when Obi-Wan learns that the child of Anakin Skywalker has been kidnapped by the Empire and that he must go out and search for her. But as we see, he is still very uncertain of whether or not he should leave behind his duty on Tatooine and go out in search of Leia. But he really does get this push that he really needs when he finds that the Jedi that once asked him for help is found strung up in the street, dead. And this really forces Obi-Wan to confront his fear and go out and save Leia. Now, on the topic of Leia, the young actress that plays Leia, I did not expect her performance to be as amazing and impactful and original as it was, she has every bit the tenacity and cunning of her father and the headstrong leadership of her mother, which is so prevalent in Leia, and it's amazing that the actress was able to achieve this. It's really honestly great work, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. And this brings us smoothly into the story of Obi-Wan and his search for Leia. He begins his search on Daiyu, a planet notorious for her secrets, but the real trouble comes in the Inquisitors who are hunting him and seeking him out and using Leia as bait, and in doing this allows the third sister the opportunity to capture Kenobi and bring him to Darth Vader. But much of episode 2 is spent focusing on how Kenobi and Leia get to know each other, and how much Kenobi realizes that Leia resembles her mother and father. And while Kenobi and Leia are getting to know one another, the Inquisitors are scrambling to find him while he is on Daiyu. And it leads to an internal power struggle between the Inquisitors themselves. This conflict is fueled by Reva's need to impress Lord Vader and win his favor by capturing his most sought-after prize, Kenobi. And eventually, of course, after having scoured the whole city for him, the Inquisitors do find him, and it forces Obi-Wan to finally come to terms with his grief, and in a moment of weakness, save Leia and connect to the Force once again, after being deprived of it for so long. And immediately after this, he is forced to confront the third sister, who tells him the truth of what happened to Anakin, that he's not dead, but is really alive and stronger than ever, and is now known as Lord Vader. And this rocks Obi-Wan to his very core. We can visibly see the grief, shock, and pain on his face as he comes to terms with this. And in true Star Wars fashion, we're immediately cut to a clip scene of Vader in a Bacta tank, opening his eyes, and that iconic breath that shakes everyone to their very core. And this is why I feel that these two episodes are so strong and so well written that it is one of the best Star Wars openings in a long time, since probably The Mandalorian. It truly captures the time period and the changes that the characters have gone through in such a short span of time. I do feel that had Disney not done these episodes back to back as they did, it would have been a weaker opening for Star Wars and the Kenobi series, because episode 1 truly does lack any oomph or show. It is very much in episode 2 that we get all of this interesting character development and action, drama, and propulsion of the story, the true story, that is Obi-Wan and Vader squaring off at some point.